I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Originally designed by Charles Moneypenny, the same architect who created Daytona International Speedway, Michigan International, best known for awesome speeds and competitive racing spawned by its broad racing surface and 73-foot wide, 18-degree bank turns. Michigan's width and steep banking ensures there's always more than one racing group, and the fact that MIS is not a super speedway means that drivers have more than enough power to make a challenge out of the turns at both ends of the track. Once upon a time, Indy cars frolicked on those high banks at breathtaking speeds. Witness to Paul Tracy's record qualifying lap, 234.94 miles per hour. Today, Michigan regularly vies with Daytona, Talladega, and Texas as NASCAR's fastest speedway, with Jeff Gordon holding the NASCAR Cup Series track record of 206.558 miles per hour. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby, Davey Allison, Dale Sr., Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, they've all added their names to the roll call of MIS winners, one that also includes names like Andretti, Foyt, Unser, Mears, and Zanardi from the days when Indy cars raced in the Irish Hills. Allison DiArboro and Andretti Zanardi, the world's greatest racing drivers, have been coming to Michigan to test their mettle for more than 40 years. And the fans is followed by the hundreds of thousands. Tonight, it's the Black Horizon Truck Series Prehistoric 200. It's coming up next on HPR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Michigan Speedway for the Prehistoric Forest 200. Going to mess that one up a bunch here tonight, but we're going to try and get through it. 100 laps here tonight at Michigan. Air temperature 76 degrees, 70% humidity, track temp 105. Practice just wrapping up here at the Speedway. In fact, just about a minute, maybe less, remaining in the practice session. Let's go trackside, see where everyone's lining up here. The 63 of Alex Cummings, your fastest so far, 39.53. 39.55 for Sutphin. Sean Petchins, third quick, 39.57. Then a 63 and a 63 to round out the top five. Got the 48 of Chris Dean, just 100th outside that top five. To see if his times match up to practice, to qualifying. Again, the draft's certainly going to come into the picture here tonight. These drivers are going to have to work together. These trucks put such a big hole in the air. Going to get big-time runs, but you're going to need some teamwork to make your way towards the front, potentially win this thing here tonight as the clock gets to zero in the practice session. So we wait for the first driver to leave pit lane here, begin qualifying. It's a 5-minute session, 2 laps to set the field. Looks like Cameron Ingram, possibly the first to roll. First one in the pits, at least. Trey Anderson sits there in the pits as well. Luke Simonson, he's on the track. Number 49 machine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was pretty certain that Simonson was running the 41. Maybe that's the other Luke. I think that might be Luke Strayer. I don't see Strayer. There he is. He's the 41. Why did I think Simonson was in a different numbered truck? I could be wrong, but trivial at this point. Qualifying here at Michigan, all about momentum. It's honestly very similar, at least in the truck, to running a Q lap at Daytona. Got to keep your foot down. Don't put too much wheel into it to kind of get the thing to turn. As Sutphin goes P1, Simonson goes third, now fourth with a 39.93. Over to Sutphin here for his second lap in the number 26. He's fastest. Well, he was. Now he's back to P2 with Fontaine taking top honors. For now, 39.82. 200s quicker than Sutphin's first lap. Likely to be a bit faster here on the second time around. Pressures are up. Goodyear Racing Eagles. We'll see what Sutphin can lock in. He slips to P3 here. Petchin goes P1, 39.70. Big jump for the 69. Down to the bottom goes Sutphin, over the bumps at the apron. Still third quick, 39.848. Didn't improve, but we're talking 1,000th of a second difference between the two laps. Sean Petchin, let's see if he can pick up his time a bit. Currently the provisional pole sitter, 39.708 for lap 1. Lap 2 for Petchin, it's not faster, but he still sits P1. Jason Clark in the 13, a 39.92 the first time by. He's going to cross the stripe to finish lap 2. 39.924, identical lap time for the lap 1 to lap 2. That doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Chris Dean at the stripe, finishing lap 1. There's the 48 land third quick, 39.821 for the Dean machine. No Zach Millett tonight. Millett, unfortunately, has to be at work. Not going to be able to turn laps here at Michigan. It's one of his favorite places to run, so going to have to miss it. Christine down to the apron as well. Still third quick. A little bit slower, actually, 40.063. Matt Telder, 39.92. Haven't really seen anybody pick up on that second lap. I will say, I'm definitely excited to watch this one here tonight. Going to be a lot of drafting, a lot of close quarters battling going on. Hopefully these guys can make it work. Not getting into too many messes. 1/10 of a second between first and second. Petchin to Alfine. Telder's going to cross the line for lap 2. Where does he chime in? Faster, 39.88, puts him in the top 10, 8th fast. Chris Scala on track, number 22, Black Horizon Chevrolet. Just now seeing on social media, Camaro looking to go away here. Chevrolet going to scrap that brand here after this year. As qualifying comes to a close. I don't know if Scala got that lap in or not. But nonetheless, let's go down trackside for our starting grid for tonight's Prehistoric Forest 200 presented by UNIXN. It's not just me saying it wrong. That's how it's spelled. I did confirm it's accurate. On the pole position with a lap time of 39.708 seconds with Ace Racing, it's Sean Petchin. Outside front row, the number 21, Captain's Crusaders driver, Brandon Alfine. Row number 2, it's the Dean machine, Chris Dean, the number 48. Fourth position, Sam Fontaine, the number 77. Fifth spot, the number 26, Brian Sutphin with KJD2 Racing, with Luke Knupp, the number 29, GZ Racing entry starting 6th. 7th goes to Trey Anderson. Matt Telder is going to start from the 8th position. 9th spot goes to Jason Dalton in the 2. Cedric Ingram with Gunslinger Racing. He'll start 19th. 11th goes to Joey Lattiser, number 23, Speed Ranch XP1 Racing entry. Alex Cummings with Lap 1 Legends. He'll start 12th to the number 63. Keep an eye on Cummings. He's going to be fast. Cameron Ingram in the 5, another Gunslingers entry. He'll start 13th with Jason Clark, Brewer Motorsports, number 13, also out of Canada, starting 14th. Diego Sainz, the number 44, starting in the 15th spot. Luke Simonson, another GZ Racing entry, will start in the 16th position. Tyler Brewer with, Brewer Motorsports, number 40, starting in the 17th spot. Chris Scala with Captain's Crusaders, starting 18th. Luke Strayer, the 41, will start 19th. Keep an eye on the 41 to work his way up through the field tonight. Steve Miles in the 7, he'll start 20th. He's got a couple wins this season already. And Jacob Drift in the number 14 will start 21st. It's your starting grid for the Prehistoric Forest 200, presented by UNIXN. Field just starting to roll for one parade lap before we go under the green flag. Again, race details for tonight, 100 laps, no stage breaks to speak of, no fast repairs to speak of. Drivers are allocated 3 sets of tires over the pit wall, everybody working with a full load of fuel tonight. If the need should arise late in the race with some yellow flags, we do have the opportunity for 2 green-white checkered finishes, only if necessary. And I got to make mention here, Haley in the stream chat makes a very good point. First and foremost, I know I say this a lot, but Haley is coming to us watching this race from Sweden. It is early in the morning in Sweden right now, and she's chimed in, says the chat is awful quiet tonight. So guys, feel free, jump in the stream chat, say hello, where you're watching from as the pace car pulls off. We get ready to go underway here at Michigan Speedway.
Green flag.
Lap 1 complete. Sean Petchen with the lead. The battle, though, for Christine and Brandon Alphine. Battling for that second position. Plenty of trucks in behind. Tight, close quarters. Sam Fontaine, Luke Knupp, Matt Telder, even Trey Anderson in the mix. 29 truck of Luke Knupp just slipping and sliding out of turn 2. No contact with anybody. Telder taking a peek to the inside. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 3 on lap 2. Brazen move for the 1 all the way down to the bottom. 3 wide still, gets clear. Takes this spot away from Luke Knupp. Matt Telder in the 5th position now. Meanwhile, though, don't look. Brendan Alphine's got to run out of 4 down the front stretch here to the outside of Petchen. He's going to make a move for the lead. Petchen slips back a few spots here. New leader Brandon Alphine at the front of the field. Christine up into the 2nd spot. Fontaine working on P3. Petchen has slipped back to 4th. He still battles with the 77 for that spot. Got the 85 of Trey Anderson on the high side. Matt Telder in behind Petchen. That's your top 6 out of turn 2. Great battle here at the front of the field for the top 2 spots. Fontaine runs in 3rd behind Christine. Might give the 48 a bit of a push. You got Petchen, Anderson, and Telder there as well. 26 machine of Brian Sutphin closing in, trying to become part of this battle. At the same token, you've got the 29 truck in the 13. That's Luke Knupp. Jason Clark battling for position, and Alex Cummings up into the 10th position. He's cracking the top 10 for the first time today with the 23 of Joey Ladisser going to the bottom. Battle here for position further on back. Cedric Ingram in the 13th spot. Behind them, it's Diego Sainz and Tyler Brewer. Brewer running the old Kevin Harvick scheme. That is a beautiful looking truck. Got a spotlight in that one for a minute. Different paint scheme, similar paint scheme, different sponsor. Advanced Sim Racing Plus on that number 40 truck with Brewer Motorsports. And I guess we'll let the Ford part slide. Harvick does drive the Ford now. It's kind of a cross between the old Chevy paint scheme with today's next gen, and they put it on a truck. Looks good. Back out front, some shucking and jiving here at the front of the field. Ryan Suckman way out of shape for a moment, kind of offline, slides up the racetrack through 1 and 2. Continuing to watch these battles here at the front of the field, Chris Dean and Matt Telder trying to side draft there to the left rear. Telder drops back down to the bottom, still side by side with the 48. Again, this for the second position. Alpine still with the race lead in the second spot, though. You've got a big battle here with Chris Dean and Matt Telder. Right on board with Brandon Alpine. Actually, he's going to have pressure here from Telder. Telder slots in behind, takes the second spot away from the 48 of Dean. Telder on a mission here at Michigan Speedway. He spins the leader. The 21 goes around in turn 1. Caution on the speedway. That is not what we needed to see.
Can you hear me?
Telder makes contact, I think, with the 21 of Brandon Alpine. You saw it live.
Check the one on your headset, on your headboard actually, on your left-hand side, on your headrest. 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. You got a good copy? 10-4.
What a crazy course of events here at lap 9 at Michigan. Let's take a look, see exactly what happened. Oh, we get to it a little bit late. Contact was already made. Again, this is getting down into turn number 1. Now, personally, I don't know of any bad blood between Telder and Alpine here, but it's hard for me to really make a determination as Petchen gets into this too. So does the 13 truck. That's a tough call to make, especially this early on. A lot of aggression. We're only 9 laps into this thing. Man, oh man. I'm going to back it up here, go to the roof cam on Matt Telder. We'll go real time first. Yeah. So we've seen this happen multiple times at places like Daytona and Talladega. We'll slow it down now. Quarter speed. You see he's off center here, the left rear of Alpine's truck. Now he gets squared up. That's good. You can give him a push here if you want, but the problem is Telder drops to the inside just a bit. Now he's off center. And he just clips the bumper enough, and that's all it takes here as the truck's coming into turn 1 here. They're starting to get unloaded as he turns in. It was just the perfect mix of bad timing and contact. Sends the 21 around. So Alpine and Petchen, both involved in this. They're on pit lane here. Again, no fast repair for these drivers, so unfortunately they're going to have to fix it the old-fashioned way. A few drivers taking an opportunity here. Chris Scala being one of them, Luke Strayer another. Looks like fuel only for most of these guys. Jason Clark, though, he's been in there a while. He was also a part of that wreck. Gonna get some damage repaired, top off the tanks. Or tank. We're not talking 1989 here when you got dual tanks on these trucks. And I don't mean on the race trucks, I mean on the real life trucks. So it looks like Telder might be going to the rear for this one. And my guess, again, I don't have the ear with the race officials, unfortunately, during the race, just because I think it would actually come through the broadcast. And so some of you might like to hear that. It could be a distraction. And, I don't have the ability to edit out the curse words if there are any. But it looks like Telder's going to the back, whether it was a self-inflicted, yeah, that was on me, send me to the rear, or if the admin's got somebody up in the booth watching it, and said, yeah, you turned him. And he did. Now, again, him going to the back doesn't mean that the race admins believe it to be an intentional wreck. But many times you go to your local short track, if you're involved in a caution and if somebody spins after contact with you, you're going to the back with him. He's going to the back because he spun. You're going to the back because you were part of it. It's like punishing your kids. Which I don't honestly disagree with at all. I think it's a good thing. It kind of encourages guys to think a little bit when they're on the racetrack about the moves that they make. Luckily for Telder, it is really early here at Michigan, so he's got plenty of opportunity to make his way back up through the field. He's got a fast truck. Meanwhile, Alfine back on the track. Still plenty of damage on that machine. Spent 2.5 minutes on the pit lane, so he is very much out of this one as far as having a shot for the race win, which is really a shame. He definitely had a chance here today. So back out front, it's Chris Dean, Sam Fontaine, and I say Chris Dean. I'm not saying Christine, though it sounds almost identical every time it comes out of my mouth. I'm like, nope, his name's Chris, his last name is Dean. We'll get it worked out. Pace car lights are off on the 1 to go, so we'll get the restart here, lap 13. We'll try it again. So now we've got 17 trucks currently still on the lead lap out of the 21 that took the green flag. Pace car is down. Barney the flag man with the green in hand. It waves and we're back running here at Michigan Speedway. Christine holds the field down into turn number 1. Once again, he gets away. The battle for the second spot, Brian Sutphin and Sam Fontaine. Everybody on the go pedal here after the restart. Dean still out in front. The battle we watch now for the second position. That's been given to Brian Sutphin here. Fontaine tucks in behind. But now Alex Cummings is rolling into the picture as well. He wants a shot at least at the top 3, maybe even the top 2. He's side by side with the 77 out of turn 2. Fontaine giving him a battle. Drag racing down the back straightaway. Fontaine wins the race into turn 3. Cummings, though, drives it to the bottom. He's almost up to the second spot alongside Brian Sutphin. Cummings doesn't like the aggression here. He's going to drop out. Again, something that we have seen at many of these super speedways as far as Daytona and Talladega. You'll see a guy drop out to the inside, kind of getting out of the riffraff up front. Doesn't like what he sees. But maybe that wasn't the case. Cummings not really dropping to the rear, slips back just inside the top 10 in the 9th position. 15 laps in, still plenty of battles to watch. Now Luke Knupp in front of the 5 of Ingram. Told you last week, guys, this one's going to be a barn burner like watching Daytona or Talladega. The draft is key, but again, no restrictor plate, no tapered spacer, just horsepower. Oh, trouble down the backstretch. Cummings in this one makes contact, no caution. Catch the other truck. Was it Brandon Alfine again? Don't think so. Might have been the 14 truck of Jacob Drift. He does get back in it. Him and Cummings now at the tail of the field. Alex Cummings had that feeling in his gut that something was going to happen. He was right. But in all reality, if he had stayed up near the front where he was, he might have been able to avoid it. Unfortunately, his intuition actually hurt him here. Not a whole lot of damage between the two trucks. I think himself and Jacob Drift could work together here to get back towards the front. A little bit of left front damage on the 63. Nothing it won't buff out. The next pit stop. Back out front. 48 of Dean still with the race lead. Sutphin runs second. Fontaine in P3. Again, such a wide racetrack, drivers able to kind of choose and pick where they want to be. Top side, low side, middle side. Combination of one or the other. Chris Dean, the race leader, still over Brian Sutphin. Fontaine running P3, but Joey Ladisser has worked his way into the mix as well. He's challenging for the third spot. He's down low in the number 23 Chevrolet. Top four, all Silverado. Then it's Luke Knupp, the first Toyota in the mix. Now he slips a little bit into the fourth spot. Knupp, that Red Sim design number 29 truck, up on the top. I say top, the high lane, comparative to the driver on the bottom. It's about 4 or 5 lanes that you can run here at Michigan. Now, I'm not saying you can do it all side by side, but you can certainly use them. Continue to watch this battle here with 5 of Cameron Ingram, Luke Knupp, Sam Fontaine. Ladisser drops way to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to shortcut it. Doesn't seem to work, though. Again, the draft coming into play here. That top lane was relatively organized coming in through the tri-oval. Ladisser drives it down to the bottom, and the entry to 3 takes 1 spot, gets a nose in front of the 29 of Knupp. Not enough to clear. Good corner for Ladisser. Battle for the top spot. Chris Dean, Brian Sutphin. Sutphin to the bottom. Fontaine's going to drop down low. He's going to try and take advantage as well. It almost looks like Dean thought he was going to back out of this thing, give the lead up to a couple other drivers here. Maybe he's trying to save some fuel. And that lead truck is going to burn the most amount of Sunoco racing fuel comparative to everybody else, because he's the first one out there. He's the one punching the hole in the air. Decides to switch it up, maybe sniff a little draft off the 26 of Sutphin and Fontaine. So new leader here, lap 23. It's the 26 of Brian Sutphin. Then it's Sam Fontaine. Chris Dean has slipped back to P3. Luke Knupp, Cameron Ingram, 4th and 5th. Tyler Brewer has worked himself up into the 6th spot. Ladisser's dropping backwards, throwing out the anchor down the back straightaway. The 2 of Dalton. Dalton, unfortunately, not on the lead lap. In fact, Dalton 3 laps down, going to need a fistful of cautions here if he's going to try and make a challenge here. Dalton's usually pretty quick. Already at a big deficit here early on at Michigan Speedway. Things within that top 6, top 7, though, starting to get normalized, calming down a bit. Sutphin with the race lead, Fontaine running 2nd, then it's Chris Dean. Luke Knupp, 5th goes to Cameron Ingram, Tyler Brewer, Matt Telder, Diego Sainz, Joe Ladisser, Luke Simonson, your top 10. Quarter distance here at Michigan Speedway. We're going to get a first HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. You won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, 30 laps in the Black Horizon Truck Series Prehistoric Forest 200, presented by UIUNIXN. Race leader Brian Sutphin still in command of things. Sam Fontaine running in the second spot. Christine still having a strong run in P3. That's the two of Jason Dalton, not on a lead lap. He's 3 laps down, but he's working his way back, going to try and take this lap back himself. Then he only needs a couple of cautions to get back on the lead lap. And so far, not really shaping up to be that type of race. We have had one yellow. That was when Telder got into Brandon Alphine. Alphine, ironically, only 1 lap down, though, so he's not out of this thing yet. Telder made out pretty decent here. Had to go to the back, but he's in the 4th position. Oh, car in the wall. It's the 40 truck of Tyler Brewer. Just scrapes the right sides just a bit. Everybody gets away clean. No caution. We stay under the green flag. Car out of line here at the front of the field. That might have been Jason Dalton. Really is a shame that the two stuck a couple of laps down here, or at least 3 laps down. Would have been a challenger here at the front of the field, it seems, as he's been able to work his way through the field as a lap truck. Now just 1 behind the race leader. If he can get on by Brian Sutphin, he can get 1 of those 3 laps back. Meanwhile, the one of Matt Telder continues to push towards the front of the field. One driver out of shape just a bit. Looks like it might have been the 19 of Cedric Ingram. Again, gathers it up. Meanwhile, further back here, Alex Cummings and Jacob Drift, laps ago, coming together out of turn 2. They slide all the way down into that paved runoff down the backstretch. They don't hit anything. In fact, this right now is Alex Cummings and Brandon Alphine. I don't know where Jacob Drift ended up. In fact, he is just coming down the backstretch right now, but Cummings was fast early on. Starting to lose the draft here. Would certainly benefit from a caution to get caught up, maybe get some repairs made that 63 truck, albeit it looks pretty clean in the front. Left front is a little bit banged up, certainly not helping the aero on that machine. He's got 21 behind him, Brandon Alphine. That truck certainly worse for wear as well. Not the fastest of couples on the racetrack, trying to make the best of it. Joey Laddiser at the bottom of the racetrack. First pit stops of the day underway. 36 laps in. Might be a premature stop, hard to say. First visit to pit lane for the number 23 truck. Oh, he slides through. Gets it in the box, though, clean. I don't think he got the wall. Not too close. Got lucky on that one. Locked up the tires, getting into the pit box. Right sides are changed. Crew goes around to the left side. 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel for Joey Laddiser. He's down and away, a 15.08 second stop. Not terrible considering the entry. He's down and away. Jason Dalton has taken 1 lap back from race leader Brian Sutphin. I'm sure he'll be okay with that. Unless we get 2 more cautions. And then Dalton can be challenging here. And as it stands, only 16 trucks on the lead lap right now. So say we get 2 cautions, Dalton gets waved back around with the lucky dog. Yes, he'd have to restart at the back, but being on the lead lap, that could pose a problem for some of these drivers with the pace that 2 has shown. Going back to earlier, Haley in the stream chat says it's quiet in here tonight. Once again, she's the only one saying anything. Not a huge crowd tonight in the stream, but if you are watching, feel free to chime in. You don't need to be a subscriber. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, what you had for dinner. I don't care. Just keep it PG, safe for the kids. More pit stops underway. Matt Telder, Cedric Ingram, Tyler Brewer, Luke Simonson. Ingram and Telder both completing their pit stops. Telder with a good run out of the pits. Takes a look to the outside of the 19. .40 laps in, 61 to go. Count that last lap. It's not bad math, trust me. Steve Miles in the pits as well. The number 7 getting his pit work completed. Meanwhile, Chris Scala has taken over the top spot. His pit stop first came at lap 11. Took that first caution as an opportunity. Chris Scala still with the race lead. Trey Anderson running in the second spot, about a second and a half behind. Scala extending that lead over Trey Anderson. Gonna have to make his pit stop here pretty soon as well. Looking at everyone's pit stops here, Chris Scala, Trey Anderson, the only two on the racetrack that have not made a regular scheduled stop thus far. Cameron Ingram, Joe Ladouceur have completed their stops. They will inherit the top two spots when Scala and Anderson make theirs. Would expect the 22 to hit pit lane here in the next handful of laps for certain. Scala still stretching out that advantage over Anderson. It's 3.4 seconds. Sam Fontaine running third, Cameron Ingram fourth, Joe Ladouceur fifth, Brian Sutphin, Christine sixth and seventh, Matt Telder eighth, Tyler Brewer ninth. Cedric Ingram runs in the 10th spot. Lap 47. Scala working the backstretch here. Again, going to need to make a pit stop here soon. Anderson pulls off. He's in pit lane for his stop. Scala puts Anderson a lap down, still stays on the racetrack here as we just approach halfway. Next time by will be lap 50. And here comes Scala to pit lane. Jason Dalton also in the pits. Oh, Scala overshoots the box here, has to back it up. 4 tires and fuel going to be the stop for the 22. Scala still with the lead. Fontaine's going to cycle around here. He's off turn 4. Cameron Ingram right to the back. So these are your top two, the 77 of Fontaine, the 5 of Ingram here. Just a tenth between the two of them. A truck length, maybe a truck and a quarter. So we've just gone past halfway. Joe Ladisser runs P3, then Brian Sutphin and Chris Dean. The top 5 all pretty close together. Those 3 can really do a good job here. They can draft up and catch the top 2. Remains to be seen, though. We're going to jump out and get another HBR TV side-by-side out of the way. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
met Marco Scarza.
And it looks like Millet might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Back live at Michigan Speedway, Sam Fontaine still with the race lead. Cameron Ingram runs second. Steve Miles in the third spot. As we expected, these guys were going to reel in the race leaders by using the draft. You see Fontaine dropping way to the bottom here. He's trying to break that draft. Doesn't have a whole lot of help as far as a drafting partner with him is concerned. As you see Miles go to the inside, take the second spot from Ingram. Fontaine once again out of turn 2. He's going to try and break the draft down the back straightaway. Miles looking to the inside though into turn 3. He's got a fast truck. He takes a peek down low. Does he have him clear? Slides up the track just a bit, not quite enough. Fontaine's going to get the run out of turn 4. Challenge again into turn number 1. Miles and Fontaine. It's the 7 and the 77, door to door through 1 and 2. Miles right there. I thought they were going to make some contact, but he wasn't quite close enough. Side draft at play here. Miles goes to the bottom left side's almost below the yellow line. He's got Fontaine clear out of turn 4 here. Coming to lap 60. New leader at lap 60, it's Stephen Miles, two-time winner here this season. Out in front, Sam Fontaine trying to battle back. He's right there in behind the 7. Fontaine gonna battle back. He goes down low to the bottom. Miles way up the racetrack. He's going to build a big run. Try and battle back here out of 4. Side by side, come into the stripe. Fontaine's going to lead that lap technically. Fontaine tucks back in behind of Steve Miles. Miles, your race leader once again. Miles still with the lead in hand, about 3/10 over the 77 of Fontaine, maybe a little bit less. Third place running the 26 of Brian Sutphin, then it's the 48 of Dean. Luke Strayer up to the 5th spot. One of the biggest movers of the day, but not the biggest mover of the day, at least at this point. It's the 7 of Steve Miles. He started in the 20th position here today, currently leading at Michigan. Miles starting to stretch it out just a bit, about a half-tenth or so every lap. The last time by for Miles was a 40.89 to a 40.94 with Fontaine. It's not a lot, but every lap does add up over the long haul. Of course, pit stops will have to come into play here before we're done once again. Other battles through the track here. Brian Sutphin, the number 26. In behind them, it's Chris Dean and Luke Strayer. This battle will be for the 4th position. Dean with it. Jason Dalton there in the 18th position. Dalton probably has the most pace out of anyone here right now. Ran a 40.70 the last time by. Leader ran a 41.08. Unfortunately for Dalton, he's 18th and 3 laps down still. Joey Ladouceur in pit lane. He was the first to make the first round of green flag stops on the initial round of stops. Looks like it's going to be the same situation here. See if he has a better pit entry here into his box. Very nicely done. Wasn't bashful about it either, but he gets stopped in just the right spot. Crew changes the right sides, around to the left. 4 tires in Sunoco race fuel for Joey Ladouceur. Drops the jack, he's down and away. 14.77 seconds, a fast stop for Joey Ladouceur. Matt Telder also leading pit lane, his stop at 15.47. So Miles still out in front. Looks like he's got Bulldog Coffee Company on the side of that number 7 truck. Can't tell if it's Bulldog or Bully Dog. I think it's Bully Dog. Of course, can't see with this. It is indeed BullyDogCoffeeCompany.com. Jason Clark in the 13, he's on pit lane as well. Clark running in the 20th spot. Again, guys, we got 9 of you in here watching and only 1 of you chatting and only 1 like in the stream. I tell you, it really does help. You guys could like, follow, share, subscribe, at least smash that like button. It does help get the stream out to some more eyeballs, a wider audience, not just for HBR TV's sake, but also for Black Horizon Truck Series. It helps get some eyeballs on those guys as well. Certainly plenty of iRacers out in the YouTube world. I'm trying to find a solid league to run in, so please help us out. Hit that like button. 31 laps to go from Michigan. Steve Miles still with the race lead. Sam Fontaine, Brian Sutphin, Chris Dean, Luke Strayer, the top 5. Cameron and Cedric Ingram completing their pit work. Diego Sainz down pit lane, some right side damage on the 44. Tyler Brewer in the pits as well as Luke Simonson. I know I said it already, but man, oh man, do I like the 40 Trucks paint scheme. Oh, has to back it up. A little too deep in the box. Brewer with the Advanced Sim Racing number 40. Throwback Kevin Harvick scheme. Simonson pulling his best Noah Gragson impression there, backing into the 40. Brewer is down and away. Long stop, almost 19 seconds with that mistake sliding through the box. Distance from Miles back to Fontaine. It's about a half-second advantage for the 7. Again, pit stops still needing to come into play here. I think everybody can make it the rest of the way if they pit from here. It's just a matter of when they choose to do so. Luke Strayer in the box. In fact, I think this might be a penalty for Strayer. No, it's right side tires. I thought he was just in a lap ago. 4 tires and fuel for Luke Strayer. He's going to leave the pits here. 14:57. Maybe it was a different Luke. I think it might have been Simonson. I think that was the case. Yeah, Simonson pit just about 3 laps ago. Alex Cummings also down pit lane in the body armor number 63. Cleanly into his pit box. Perfect entry into the box. Right side's in the air. Cummings started in the 12th position here today, had a strong run going, was up towards the front. We thought he was deciding to kind of get out of the minutia here at the front of the field and ended up slipping back in the mid-pack and getting caught up with another truck. Had good intuition, it just didn't work out the way he wanted it to. Meanwhile, we're back up front here with Stephen Miles. The top 8 now, the lead lap machines. Strayer, the first truck, 1 lap down. If we get the caution, he would get the lucky dog. But at lap 75, we're going to take our final HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Michigan Speedway. 21 laps to go. We watched the battle between Luke Strayer and Cameron Ingram. Strayer to the bottom, the number 41 truck. Ingram up high in the 5. No sense in talking about Chris Scala right now. He's the race leader, but 14 seconds ahead of Trey Anderson. Both of those drivers still yet to make their final stop of the afternoon. This right now, we're watching this battle. It's for third, but ultimately this would be the battle for the lead. Luke Strayer, Cameron Ingram. Strayer might have him clear out of turn 2. Meanwhile, Chris Scala hits pit lane. Leaders into turns 3 and 4, still side by side, Strayer and Ingram. Strayer's got the 5 clear now, 20 laps to go. Anderson now your new leader, Trey Anderson in the 85. Again, he's 15 seconds ahead of this trio, or duo, I should say. Okay, we can call it a trio. Ladisser's there too, out of turn 2. He's coming into the mix as well, and many more. But this will ultimately become the battle for the top spot. Luke Strayer will inherit the lead once Trey Anderson makes his final pit stop of the day. Anton Farr in the stream chat says, well, you got to follow our stream chat. But he says, they sure do. Your live coverage makes it even better. I certainly do appreciate those kind words. And I like what I do is, actually we see Strayer blink out here for a moment. I like what I do. I enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. I like watching races. I like driving a lot better, but driving doesn't pay the bills. I'm not that good. But it really does help to have a solid league that knows what they're doing. They can get the job done. Again, we've only had one caution here tonight, 19 laps to go. They put on a good show. You got strategy to talk about. You've got some fast guys to talk about that may not have started towards the front. You've got Fontaine battling for the third, technically, 4th spot. Trying to figure this out here. Trey Anderson with the race lead. Luke Strayer going to have the lead. Now Fontaine up into the 3rd position. He'll ultimately gain that 2nd spot here as Ingram drops another position. But Anton, definitely, thanks for chiming in. We do appreciate your comments here in the stream chat. Wish you guys were a little bit more vocal, but either way, at the very least, we appreciate you being here. So 18 laps to go. Anderson still on the track. Well, I say that, but now Anderson down pit lane for his final stop of the day. Hits pit lane from the race lead. It's so painful to make this pit stop if you're Trey Anderson. It really is. You're just really crossing your fingers, hoping to get a caution. It's 15 trucks on the lead lap right now. Even if the yellow were to come out, yeah, you may not get a win out of it, but you've got a real good chance at a solid finish. If that caution were to come out, you could get those tires under yellow, not have to worry about it. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead, Sam Fontaine, Luke Strayer. Fontaine takes the top spot, crossover from Luke Strayer. At the stripe, too close to call. It doesn't matter. It's still 16 to go. Fontaine topside in the 77. The number 41 of Luke Strayer to the bottom. He has the lead by just a foot or 2 as they work through turns 1 and 2. Big time battle, and look who's coming to the fray. It's the 7 of Steve Miles, and he has been really fast here as of late with some pit strategy and just taking care of his truck. He's worked his way towards the front of the field. Continues to battle for the 2nd spot with Luke Strayer. Takes it away with ease. Steve Miles on a charge towards the front of the field. Strayer's pit stop came at lap 72. The top 2, Fontaine and Miles, they pit at lap 76. So equal footing for both of these drivers. We'll have to see who's got the pace. Fontaine has been fast, but Miles has been lights out. He's got a bunch of wins already this season. We'll see if he can make the pass and seal the deal here with less than 15 laps to go. Down the backstretch, Fontaine leads him.
Caution is out.
And the caution is out.
Talk to me, Goose.
What has happened on the racetrack? I don't even see any issue with it. Jason Dalton is the last incident I see. I don't know what has brought this yellow out at all. Alfine's in the pits, trying to find an issue here. I don't see anything of it. Man, oh man, this will change everything. So the question is, who pits? Answer, everybody. Sam Fontaine, Steve Miles, Luke Strayer, Cameron Ingram, everybody still has tires over the wall, and they're going to take the opportunity to get that fresh set with 14 laps to go. Got ourselves a good old Western shootout getting ready to shape up here. We're in Michigan, so I guess we can call it Midwest. So right side's in the air for Fontaine. Christine, same thing. 4 tires and fuel for Fontaine. Christine just ahead. He's going to take 4 as well. Miles out with a 14.07 second stop. Lights out pit stop for Steve Miles. That was quick. Anton Farr in the stream chat. This is going to get even better now. I don't know about better. It's certainly not going to get worse. It could get, well, I guess it could get worse if everybody wads them up here on the restart. But it seems like just about everybody within the top 14 trucks opting for 4 tires. Except for Trey Anderson, a 7.8 second stop. He's opting for track position here. Could be just right sides. Might have been fuel only, depending. It was his 4th stop of the night, so maybe didn't have any tires left. They were only allocated 3 sets for tonight over the wall. 4 if you count what they start the race on. And Steve Miles, I don't even... There's a chance maybe he took rights only. That's an awful long stop for rights only, but it's a really fast stop for 4. Certainly tough to call. But again, these two, Sam Fontaine, Steve Miles, on equal footing. This is going to be very fun to watch. Hopefully we get this thing wrapped up here under green. Pace car lights are out, which means we'll get the restart here with 11 laps to go. Barring any caution flags, I don't think anybody's got any tires left. Pit stop count for Steve Miles. He's been in there 5 times. So he's likely out of tires. 3 stops, 4 stops. Jacob Drift made 2 stops, so he's likely got a set over the wall still, but he's not on the lead lap. First truck, I think 1 lap down, it is Jacob Drift. So this could work out for him if we get another yellow here in a couple of laps. You never know. He would be the lucky dog. So got to hand it to these guys, though. Second caution of the night only, and we're just coming to 11 laps to go. Shaping up for a great finish.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're back underway. 11 laps to go. Miles leads Fontaine. Gets a good restart. Puts 2 to 3 truck lengths on the 77 down into turn number 1. Fontaine closes the gap through turns 1 and 2. Goes a little bit high. Might try to build a run out of turn 2. Has the run down the backstretch. Does he pull out to pass? Out of turn 4, Steve Miles still with the race lead. Drops it down to the apron. Fontaine is there, 10 laps remaining. Again, it's really just going to come down to who's the faster guy here at Michigan. One car in the wall is Alex Cummings. He's going to get away clear. No caution. We stay under the green flag. Miles, Fontaine, Ingram, Sutphin, and Strayer are battling for the 4th spot. Sutphin right alongside. You see him there to the bottom, all by his lonesome. Ladouceur drops out of line. He goes way to the apron. Sutphin for P4, trying to take it away from Cameron Ingram. Miles still with the race lead. Sutphin really fast here. He's alongside of Fontaine out of turn number 2. He wants the 2nd spot. He might have it. Big push from the 5 of Ingram. It's going to send Sutphin alongside of Miles into 3, or is it? Drives it down deep, not quite to the yellow line. Might have to wait another lap to make a challenge here, or does he? Sutphin and Miles side by side down into turn 3. The number 26 machine drives it to the bottom of the racetrack. Still challenging the 7 for the top spot. Out of turn number 4, looking for 7 laps to go. Miles still with a nose out in front. He's going to lead it to the stripe here with just 1/100th of a second difference between the two. Doesn't matter, not the last lap. We still got 7 to go. Sutphin to the bottom. Still side by side for the lead. Sutphin and Miles almost touching doors through the tri-oval down into turn number 1. Sutphin still with the lead, but just by a little tiny bit. A foot, maybe 2, out of turn 2. Steve Miles trying to get a run down the backstretch. They're going to drag race all the way down into turn number 3. Miles with a big run down into turn 3. He might have him clear. Nope, not quite. Oh, he does. Miles retakes the top spot. Sutphin tucks back into the P2 position. Now the battle for the 3rd spot. Ingram and Fontaine go at it. Coming to 5 laps to go. Telder in the mix there in this group here. 3 wide just in behind Luke Strayer as well as Joey Ladouceur. They were 3 wide out of turn 4. They get it figured out here 2 by 2. Keep an eye on Matt Telder. I know he had an incident early on in this race, but he is certainly fighting back. Telder up to the 5th, now 6th position. Up and down with less than 5 laps to go. Oh man, everybody close together here, maybe making contact. How these guys are getting away with this, I don't know. Telder goes to the bottom on Ingram. Coming to the stripe, 3 wide once again. It's Fontaine, Ingram, Telder in a line. Cross the start-finish line. Telder tucks back in behind Ingram into turn number 1. Miles still with the race lead. Sutphin P2, 3rd and 4th. That's the big contest right now out of turn number 2. Ingram and Fontaine, they drag race also. Big-time drag racers here at Michigan Speedway. Down into turn 3 once again. Telder on the back bumper of the 5. Fontaine up top. Telder just doesn't have anywhere to go. He's got the run. He just has to go. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Drops it to the bottom. A block coming from the 5. Crossover back up to the top goes Telder. He's going to open the door for the 41 of Strayer. Maybe not. Strayer had the run, had to check up to not run over the 1. 3 laps to go. Miles still with the lead. Sutphin, P2. Fontaine with third for now. Ingram fourth. Telder fifth, and they're right side by side out of turn 2. Still the battle. Ingram, Strayer for the 5th spot. Miles, Sutphin, Fontaine, and Telder the top 4. Strayer looking to the outside of Matt Telder out of turn number 2. Keeps his foot down, almost gets to the outside. Telder shuts the door. Fontaine does the same to the 1 down the backstretch into 3. Fontaine maintains the 3rd position. Telder now looking to the outside on the 77 out of turn number 4. Does he have enough? He does not. The 77 can climb up. He does. Blocks the run out of the 1. Strayer in the 41, still at the bottom. Joey Lattiser in the mix. So is the 5 of Ingram. Great battle here for position. Meanwhile, up front, Miles, Telder. The battle for the lead is on here on the last lap here at Michigan Speedway. Sutphin on the bottom. Miles on the top. Out of turn number 2. Tucks back in line behind. Miles with the lead in the 19 of Ingram. Gets crossed up on a turn number 2, drives it through the runoff. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. On to turn number 4, it's the 7 of Steve Miles, holding off the challenge from the 26 of Brian Sutphin. Checkered flag in the air, Steve Miles wins the prehistoric Forest 200 presented by UNIXN. What a finish here at Michigan Speedway. Steve Miles with your race win. I think this is his 3rd win of the year. Our stats guy has the night off, so it could be his 4th. I think it's 3rd. Either way, unbelievable race. Very clean race, very impressive. These guys battled hard here in the last handful of laps. Miles very happy here on the front stretch. Steve Miles pulls it over to the checkered flag here on the front stretch. Victory lane. Smoke pouring out the front of that number 7. Awesome finish here. We're going to jump out and get our final break out of the way. Hopefully have our top 3 finishers in the broadcast booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, the Prehistoric Forest 200 presented by UNIXN, won by the number 7 of Steve Miles. We'll see if we can pull the driver of that number 7 up into the broadcast booth. Get a word with our race winner here. Steve Miles, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. How are you doing?
We're doing good, man. I think this is your 3rd, maybe even 4th win of the season, man. Congratulations. Started in the 20th position here this afternoon, slowly but surely worked your way to the front of the field. Had the speed, had the pace, took it away from the 77 of Fontaine and led it all the way to the checkers, man. Tell us about your race.
It's just like any ordinary race, man. I just don't even qualify, especially in these races with the draft so dependent, and thinking about my car and thinking about how them early wrecks been, the history of this race. So me and my teammate just started in the back, slowly worked our way up, and I think it was the pit stop. I pitted a little bit later than the leaders, and for some reason I beat some of them off, and I was just saving. Those my strategies to save, but then I realized when I ran Fontaine there, how fast my truck was at the beginning and the end of the run. So when I passed him, I just wanted to go green because I knew he couldn't keep up, and I was just trying to manage the lead regardless. And when that caution came out, my heart dropped, but I was 2nd going in, and my pit crew did a good job. I don't know what it was, man. We always gained spots today, and yeah, there at the end, Suffin raced me clean. I thank him for that, man. It was a lot of good racing towards the end, and I mean, the best truck prevailed.
So, Steven, on that final stop here when that late caution came out, lap 87, your pit stop, a 14.07 second stop. I assumed you took 4, but I gotta be honest, man, that's the fastest 4-tire stop I've seen in these trucks. Did you take 4?
Yeah, I took 4. I think what it was, I don't know if it was, but I took less fuel because the new auto fuel messed me up on that long green flag run. So that's why I stayed behind Fontaine. I had to save fuel and only put 24 laps of fuel with like 21 laps to go. So I had to just manage it. So when I came in the pits, I was like, I don't even want a full tank right now. I'm just gonna put 3.4 gallons in there, and I think that's probably what it was, but who knows.
Well, either way, very impressive. A great run tonight. Again, starting near the back of the field, bringing that truck all the way towards the front here and holding off some fast guys, passing Sam Fontaine for the race win. Congratulations, man. What are your thoughts next week rolling into the All-Star race?
Man, that's what I wanted to do, with build momentum. I mean, I'm pretty sure all 3 of my wins, I came from the back to the front, but most of these races I've been trying to just get average finishes, but now it's the playoffs, so I have to qualify, I have to do everything right, stay out the mess, and run fast with these guys. I know the road course and all that will be a hiccup for me, but when we get to Indy or Kansas or Chicagoland, I'm going to be one of the top to beat. So I just want to be there at the end. That's all I was trying to do at the beginning of the season, and hopefully I carry it out.
Well, hell yeah, Steve. Congratulations for the win here at Michigan. Good luck for the rest of the season. Pleasure talking to you. We're going to let you go. Anyone you want to shout out to?
Thank you to my sponsor, Bully Dog Coffee, Asheville Rooftops, my teammates, Skylar, Brandon Alphin, Luke Strayer. I mean, 3 out of 4 made the playoffs, so we got a good little thing going. Thank God, thank my girlfriend, and thank you for broadcasting us. You have an awesome broadcast YouTube channel and everything. I look at all the other races, man, so thank you for that.
Thank God and a girlfriend. Can't go wrong there, Steve. Congratulations again. Certainly good luck next week.
Thank you.
Steve Miles, your race winner here at Michigan Speedway. We're going to talk to Brian Sutphin next, your 2nd place finisher. So you can pull Brian up into the broadcast booth. Brian and Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing this evening?
Doing well, sir. Congratulations on a P2 finish here this afternoon. Started in P5, so you were front runner most of the night. Seemed like you might have had something for Steve Miles, but just didn't quite pan out. A P2 finish here tonight. Walk us through your race, and was there anything you could have done to track down and pass Steve Miles for the race win?
It was a fun race. A lot of really clean racing. I enjoyed racing around the guys that I spent most of my evening with. You know, just, I mean, hard racing, but clean. But there at the end, I'd lost some spots to guys I think that took 2 tires that last caution. By the time I got around those guys, having 4, I had my work cut out for me, and by the time I got there, I'd knocked the new off of them. I just didn't have anything for him on the bottom. I kept getting a little bit tight and snapping loose on the bottom and losing forward drive, and he just pulled me down the straightaway. But it's a good, fun, clean race.
Certainly a fun one to watch. I know we had a couple of cautions, but for a 100-lap race at Michigan, just to have a couple, I think we're okay with that. It was a fun race to watch. You certainly had a strong truck here tonight. Next week, we go into the All-Star race. I don't think we have that one broadcasted, but what are your thoughts rolling into the All-Star race?
Be honest with you, I don't even know what track it's at. Where is it?
It makes two of us, my friend. I would look at the schedule, but I'm not on it, so unfortunately I'm not aware of that. But either way, a driver like yourself, I would certainly expect you to be a part of it.
Oh, we'll see. But I don't even know where the race is, but we'll get prepared for it before next Wednesday night, I'm sure.
Certainly be a fun one either way. Again, congratulations on P2 here at Michigan. Brian, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I give a shout out to you guys for broadcasting the race, and GLSR for putting the series on. It's always a lot of stiff competition, fun, and I'll say hey to any friends and family I might have out there watching tonight.
Before I let you go, Brian, I must say, Brian Sutphin, you have a radio voice. If I could ever get you up in this broadcast booth, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Even with my thick southern accent?
100%. I don't know if you listen to any of our races in the Noble Racing Series on Sunday. We've got Eric Dotson in the booth. He's from backwoods West Virginia, and he sounds very similar, so that's all good.
Yeah, we probably get along just fine.
Well, Brian, again, congratulations on P2, man, and good luck going forward.
Thanks a lot. Hope to get to talk to you again soon.
Take care. It's Brian Sutphin, your second place finisher here at Michigan. Sam Fontaine will be the next driver we pull up into our broadcast booth. Third place finisher, Sam Fontaine. It's Steve Singer in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Sam, congratulations, man, on a P3 finish. I'm sure it's not what you hoped for or expected tonight. You had a fast truck. Man, a lot of time here at the front of the field. Was there anything you could have done differently tonight, whether it was tire strategy, fuel strategy, or just hammer down a little bit more to pass Brian and Steven for those top two spots?
Oh, I think the goal tonight was to get the teammates in the playoff and hopefully finish in a good spot. We were pretty much looking great before the night, so that was the goal. Strategy-wise, we did everything we had to. Maybe conserving tires mid-run, but at the end it was only a 10-lap shootout, so it didn't matter much. No, I would say I was trying to help my teammate as much as I could and help Brian to maybe get that win at the end, and unfortunately didn't get it. But no, I'm pretty happy anyway.
Well, I got to ask, next week you guys have the All-Star race. I would imagine you're going to be a part of that regardless. Where that actually is, I don't see it on the schedule per se, and in fact I don't think we're even broadcasting it, but your next points race is going to be out at Lucas Oil Raceway or IRP, whatever you guys want to call it. Either way, it's a short track, so what are your thoughts rolling into IRP there in a couple of weeks?
Oh, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I guess I'm coming from a short track background, so I really like those things, and hopefully we get a clean race so we can have a shot to the win. That's mostly what we're aiming for going down there, and it's playoffs, so we still have to be smart with it. But yeah, we're gonna aim for the top of the podium for sure.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck, Sam. We're gonna let you go here. Wrap things up here from Michigan. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, all the guys in KJD2, the league admins, and you for the broadcast, everyone who made it possible. Thanks, guys, and looking forward for the next one.
All right, Sam. Well, thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in the All-Star race, and certainly good luck in the playoffs. Sam Fontaine, your third place finisher here at Michigan Speedway. Good to talk to our top three. Let's take a look at our official race results. Of course, our race winner, Steve Miles. Brian Sutphin was P2. Sam Fontaine was third. Matt Telder, P4. Joey Ladisser, a strong finish. He made it work. We saw him pit a bunch of times tonight here before everybody else and still made it work brought the 23 truck home to a top 5. Luke Strayer was P6. 7th place finisher, that was Cameron Ingram. Tyler Brewer was 8th. 9th went to Chris Dean. Diego Sainz was P10. Trey Anderson 11th. Luke Simonson 12th. Cedric Ingram 13th. Chris Scala was 14th. Alex Cummings brought it home in the 15th spot. Tough break for him. He was up in that top 5 for quite a while. Last truck on the lead lap. Jacob Drift was 16th. Jason Dalton 17th, 2 laps down. Tough break for the 2-man. He really had a strong truck here tonight. Would have liked to see him battling up there in the top 5, but just wasn't meant to be. Brandon Alfine was 18th. Remember, he led some laps early on. Got caught up with a wreck with Matt Telder. Sean Petchen was involved in that as well. He finished 19th. Luke Knupp was 20th. And Jason Clark with Brewer Motorsports was 21st, 75 laps down. Got to thank all you guys for tuning in tonight and watching tonight's race here on HBR TV, the prehistoric Forest 200 presented by UNIXN. Those of you in the stream chat, of course, chiming in. It was Haley, it was Anton Farr. I think that might have been it. That's okay. We'll let it slide this week. Really want to see those better numbers next week or 2 weeks from now, because those are rookie numbers. We do appreciate the viewership, certainly, but if you haven't already done it so, HBRTV1.com. It's a brand new website that we do have. It's severely under construction, not a whole lot going on there, but we at least do have the Facebook and YouTube links available there. Just click either one of those icons. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. It certainly helps the channel. It helps get this broadcast out to a wider audience. It certainly helps the Black Horizon Truck Series get in front of some more eyeballs for those sim racers out there that might be searching for a better truck league to run in. So, once again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating Steve Miles on a race win tonight here at Michigan. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.